And I know you think about this as you work with your clients. I want to get your perspective as it relates to Rick. We all
Yeah.
have our own definition of success.
Mm-hmm.
You have been incredible. And you say in passing, early internet days, 70s and 80s, like you have amazing stories around that too. So whatever, we might have to have a part two because there are fascinating stories, but we each have our own definition of success. What I'd like to know is, what does creating enduring success mean to you? To you,
Yeah.
Rick?
Well, I think that is such a great question. I'll answer that by first saying I had it totally wrong, and a calamity. A couple of sort of jarring experiences, professional experiences. At the time I thought those experiences were marks of failure.
Hmm.
And it took me years to realize that those experiences were what gave me success, were what caused character to appear. I like to think of myself as a person of character, but I don't, or integrity. I don't know that I truly was that until I lived through calamity and thought I had failed and came up on the other side of it and realized, no, that's very interesting. That what's on the other side of these experiences. And what I learned was two things. First, lifelong curiosity and learning, and a desire to go into the unknown with humility, and with a strange combination of humility and confidence, right? In other words, that I believe something is here that I should experience, but I also don't really know what I'm doing. But that notion of like being an explorer, being thoughtful in the exploration and enjoying every moment of it, to me, that is the biggest success I've had, is the learning journey that I've been on. And I didn't see that for its value until I had a couple of, sort of calamitous experiences that set me back and then allowed me over time to have to recreate myself or relaunch myself. And in my mind, I was actually literally relaunching myself. I felt that I had to be back on the comeback trail to get to some place. And it just took me some period of time to be at peace with it and realize, the journey itself is actually pretty good. and the experience of learning along the way is what has, I think, been sort of core to my, if I have success, I do believe it's enduring success, but it's in being at peace with that journey.
And that is, I imagine, inherently woven into how you work with your clients too.
Oh yeah.
It almost exudes from you, the humility and confidence and going on this exploration. And I can see you as a guide almost in working with your clients or those around you, such that they can experience that as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I would like to think, and I think my clients, some of them might say, I hope they would say this of me, but I am always humbled by the challenges that they face, because how you cognize your own challenge is how you do it. Like I could observe them and say, well, that doesn't seem so hard. They just need to do this and that, and then boom, we're done.
Yeah.
But the truth is, there's a lot more complexity to it, and there's the game in the head. And so I'm always thoughtful that how they are seeing who they are and where they are is pivotally important to any progress, any forward motion, or any motion, hopefully, that is moving in a good direction for them. And that trajectories of change are not ones that I would want to give my clients. It's the ones they want for themselves. And so I've learned that, because consulting can be, this like answer thing, right? Like we're supposed to be smart, answer. And by the way, I lived in that for my early part of the career. I thought, as long as I'm the smartest person in the room, I'll be great. And then you realize, oh yeah, that doesn't work so well, because that wasn't their answer, and they pretty much didn't care about the fact that you thought you were smart. And so I think that I've learned to try to really think, what is it you want for yourself? And the other question I often ask clients is, where do you want to be by when? Because I think that notion of timing is so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can tell you about, for example, is this person being way too hard on themselves and the organization around them, or is this a thoughtful understanding that this is going to be a journey, not a flipping of a switch?
And in some cases, I'll move us forward, but in some cases, I bet leaders within those companies are relaunching themselves as individuals, or the company is relaunching. And so here, all of a sudden, through your calamitous experiences, you then have chosen to take that innately and then purposely in your work to help elevate others. So
I hope
let's
so.
keep going on the idea of a journey, because I love your words around exploring and a journey. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Choose and Become interview series. To check out more episodes, go to www.trishkendall.com/podcast, or go to any of your favorite podcast channels, including YouTube, under Trish Kendall Speaks, and you'll find this interview and more. Choose and become.